and as the moon slowly left the horizon, and the sun began to rise across the world of Minecraft, the young explorer, Mastbos, contemplated killing himself. Actually, no, he didn't. He's up here to explain what sneaking is. In my other video, I called it stalking because that was what I was doing that day, but I got all confused. But actually, it's called sneaking. So what it is I can do this. I can get to the edge of the cliff, and I can press the sneak button, which is shift, and I can lean all the way out. It's very far out, and I won't fall. I cannot fall. I'm pushing forwards as much as I can. If I let go of shift, I'll fall because I'm actually more than halfway off the block. But if I'm holding down shift, I won't fall, which is exceptionally handy when you're working up high, because as you might have seen with my building of that big bridge thingy, I died several times in the process. From falling, of course, because I refuse to go on peaceful. But what it makes it really handy with is this kind of stuff. I'll show you right here. So I'm standing, I press shift to sneak, and I lean out, and I'm looking over the edge, and I can just place a block right here, and like, oh, that's handy. I can go out again. I can place another block. I can essentially just keep on doing that, and I will not fall. And that makes it a lot safer and a lot easier to build giant bridges and things. Of course, I'll delete this because I don't want it. It looks ugly, and I'm ODD like that. ODD, ADD, ADHD, ALP, MSG. I don't know, something along those lines. Anyway, ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Dancing along. Anyway, the second part of this video is going to be a second redstone tutorial type thingy. And what is a second redstone type tutorial thingy? Well, I'm going to do a little bit more into what pressure pads can do for you. So it's not entirely redstone, it's also pressure pad style. I should clean this up, but I'm not bothered. Pressure pads, where was I? Okay. Pressure pads. This is it. So I've got a bit of a thing set up already because in the last... I actually did this video already, but I was very smart and saved over the audio file. That's why it's already set up. But I'll start here since it's set up this way. What I've got here is I've got 3 pressure pads. Go into redstone, go into a current converter, go into a torch. And how this, what I was demonstrating here is this is an alarm mechanism. So if I was doing something in this corner here and I wanted to know if, because for instance in my base, I have no door in here on this side. I've got a big bridge full of light, so it's unlikely zombies will walk in, or skeletons or whatever, but the potential for them to walk in is, yeah, it could happen. There's nothing to block them. So if I was working in that room, I didn't want to die, I had very valuable stuff with me or something, I could set up this alarm mechanism. And the way it works is that if they step on this, it'll activate the redstone, which then goes to this torch, which then goes to this block, and this changes the current, which turns this on. Because if I didn't do this, if I didn't have this block here, and I just put it straight on the ground, what would happen was if anyone ever stood on these pressure pads, the torch would turn off. So it's like having a fire alarm which only turns on, which only turns off when there is a fire. So what I did is I put in, I demonstrated this in my last redstone tutorial. Speak slowly, Mastbos, speak slowly, God! I demonstrated this in my last redstone tutorial video of the current converter. So by putting these special little block thingies in, and putting the torch on the side, it'll change the current. So it comes in negative and it comes out positive. That's the point of it. So therefore, when I step on it, it goes in positive, comes out negative, therefore turns the torch on. Okay? So it's pretty straightforward. How else do pressure pads work? Pressure pads can be used to open doors. So if I step here and step on the pressure pad, it'll open. And just like a switch, it operates for 1 second and then it turns off. So I step on it, go off for 1 second. This is perfectly fine. If you don't press on the door, you can just walk up to it and walk straight through. You can do it on both sides. It's not serious at all. It's really pretty straightforward. But another thing you can do is you can potentially activate doors from far away. So if I had a switch, or I've done switches, if I had a pressure pad here and I wanted to open the door over there, whoops, I could go and do it like this. So now I want to step on the door. That won't work, will it? No, because it's not going into the door. That's a problem with redstone. It has to be going into it, can't go past it. So now it works, it's going into the block as opposed to past the block. So I step on it, and now the door opens. One thing about pressure pads is that any weights can activate them. So if I drop a block on it, that's enough to turn the pressure pad on. And now it won't turn off because there's a constant weight on it. So this can also be used as puzzles and locks. So for instance, you can have a little hole in the wall, and you can have a button, and the door will not open unless you drop a block on it. And a lot of people don't realize they can do that, and especially when it isn't within one block. So for instance, if I tried to click this and I tried to run through the door, I wouldn't make it because the door would close too fast. But I can, from here, throw a block over there, which then would open the door and ensure that I got safe passage through. And then, as I demonstrated in the last video, you can have locks and things. So on this side, I could have a lock which would undo this current. I mean, if you hide it in the walls, you can do all kinds of stuff with redstone. If you want more details on that, just leave a comment. But that's some of the stuff you can do with pressure pads. That's actually all I've got for you now. I was considering doing a tutorial on how to, what's it called again? Change, with mine carts, you can change the route they take with redstone. Whether, you know, if it goes left or right, instead of... So you can, yeah, it's like a switch. It switches the route you take, which I think is quite cool. But I didn't have it prepared. It'll take a while to set up, so I think I'll do it some other time. If you want to see it, let me know. Also, I have no idea how to end my videos. I just sort of ramble about strange things, and that isn't really the most useful thing to hear. So if you would like to tell me, if you'd like to give me a trademark outro, then just leave a comment with what you think I should say. I'll say just about anything, as long as it isn't too profane or insult minorities, because, you know, minorities are cool. Come on, they're minorities, what's cooler? So, yeah, you leave a comment, but for now, I'll say banana, tits, chocolate, and purple-green. That's a color, purple-green, just made it up. That was really poor. See, this is why I need a better outro. Ugh, my mind's just strange. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.